On this episode of Carnage, we're racing the Trolvo. That's right, it is finally time to race the Trolvo. Last time you saw it, we had it on the dyno down at max performance and it made 289.7 rear wheel kilowatts. It's almost 390 horsepower at the tyres. This is not bad out of a little 2.5 litre 6. But we're starting to run out of fuel on the top end. It's okay at 21 pounds of boost, it's fine, it's totally happy to race right now. But if we want more power out of it, we're going to put some more pumps in it. So we're going to take it to Portland as is. We're going to race at the South Coast 660, which is a national point scoring event. That's right, we're going to be running with the big dogs. It's going to be very interesting to see how the little Trolvo goes at a national points meeting. So, we've got a couple of things to do before we do that. We're going to put some race rubber on it, we're going to put a 4-point harness in it, and give it a tail shaft loop, just for a bit of safety. So, let's get started on the tail shaft loop, and then Kian will go off and find us some rubber. So we want to put a tail shaft loop in this thing for a little bit of safety, but we're going to struggle. There's not a lot of room up there, I tell you, and it's made worse by the fact that I had to push the transmission up a bit to get that drive shaft angle correct. Now, it's, you can see it's touched the floor a little bit above this point. It hasn't gone through to the metal, it's just marred the paint a little bit, but annoying. And then this point here, again, hasn't gone through to the metal, just marred the paint a little bit. And it's just clipped the head of this bolt that sticks through the floor pan. What I'll do is I'll shave that header back a little bit and we'll get some clearance there. And then at the other point, I think we'll just get out the big hammer. But anyway, I'll pull this shaft out. Let's have a look, see what we're dealing with. And drip, 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 drip. Right, well, there's our culprits, right? Just the floor pan a little bit there. So what I might do is get the bigger hammer out and just give that a little bit of a treatment. And then the head of this bolt just sticks through the nut slightly and you're just catching the edge. You can see where the paint's just sort of peeled away onto it. So we'll get a flappy disc onto that, I think, and shave it back a little bit. Give it some more clearance. I don't think it's a big drama, but just annoying. It's hammer time. So this is your basic tail shaft loop. Just a basic kit, couple half sections, couple side supports, a whole bunch of bolts. So the whole point of this is to retain the tail shaft if the front uni should let go. And we've seen some fairly explosive results with that in the past with racing, not us personally, but other people. Peter Brock famously did a front uni coming down Conrod Straight, and it basically shredded his tunnel, and there's famous images of just bits of metal flying everywhere inside the cabin while he's going down Conrod Straight, you know, at 200k an hour plus. That's the sort of thing you don't want. So the tail shaft loop is there to retain the tail shaft and make sure the damage is at a minimum. I mean, you saw what happened with Zane's thing when a tail shaft let go. I mean, it destroyed the gearbox, put pieces of it through the floor, all that sort of stuff. You don't want that, and we don't want that with our Trolvo when we're racing it. So we're going to fit this tail shaft loop, just add a little bit more safety to the car. Now I've already done a test fit of one of these sections up into the tunnel and had to, you know, it didn't quite sit right up into the tunnel, so I did a little bit of, and now it sits up in there, has enough clearance between it and the tail shaft, which is great. So we're going to assemble pretty much the whole thing here on the bench and then put it into place, and then we will slide the tail shaft into it when we're done. But yeah, it's kind of how we're going to go. But let's get this thing together here on the bench. And then we can look at getting it into the car. So that's what it basically looks like, but I have some concerns. We may have to drill some holes further up in this side support because I got a feeling this is going to sit too low in comparison to our floor pan sections. So I might have to do some measuring. So we've already worked out where it needs to be in terms of forward and back, because it has to be, you know, within 6 inches of the front universal. So there's only really one position it can go, which is there. Now, obviously it's not going to go that way up because these don't put themselves anywhere near the floor pan. The other way up doesn't really work right now either because this sits too low. It needs to sit right up into the tunnel. But what we're really noticing is these wings, the parts that come up off the sides, are way too long. They reach right out to the chassis rails. So we're actually going to have to shorten them quite significantly. So all these bolt holes we have here, we're not going to use any of that. I think we're pretty much going to have to cut it off there-ish. Yeah, on both sides. And then re-drill some holes. That's what we're going to be left with, I think. It's a nice cut. Much shorter. Right, so our next issue is that we have the floor pan has different heights. So this side, the floor pan sits much lower than this side. So what we're going to have to do is be a bit creative and basically, yeah, make it a bit lopsided, which is going to be interesting. It's getting there. So as usual, the tail shaft loop kit has turned out to be a one size fits nobody. Obviously the Volvo has some unique issues, but you know, none of the hole alignment was right or anything. So what we've done is come up with this. I'm deciding to get rid of all the bolts. I'm just going to weld these pieces together. They're just kind of tacked together at the moment, but basically it's going to sit up in there like so. We're going to cut the excess off here, cut the excess off there. Probably use the plasma for that, but basically we just got to drill some holes, sorry, let me reposition that. Holes here, holes on that side so we can go through the floor pan, and it'll go around the tail shaft. The bolts won't rub on the tail shaft because it'll be in the right position. It'll be awesome, I promise. So, like I said, just got to lop off some excess here and here, and then kind of just, yeah, weld the shit out of it. Okay, so I've got some excess to cut away on this bracket, just across there. I'll break out the plasma. Good way to get rid of your excess metal very quickly. The old plasma can be a bit rough around the edges, but it sure gets the job done. Okay, pretty much done. Just bolt her into the car and away we go. That's the plan. Let's hope there's nothing important up there. So with this Turbo 400 going in the old Volvo, it's going to be a bit more sprightly off the line, especially with the trans brake. The old Volvo, she ain't going to know what's hit it. But we've been down to Speed Pro, bought ourselves some drag rubber. So we need some wheels for those, and we took the boys at BCI Wheels in Geelong. There they are. And they had the wheels for us. So we've got 15x7s. We're pretty sure the back spacing is going to be right. We're going to do a check in a moment. But the stud pattern, 5x108, right? So 5 stud, 108 mil, same as like Tiranas and early Holdens, so the wheels are available. Anyway, let's get one of these up out of the box, give it a test fit. Okay, sits on the register nice, that's good. Lines up with all the threads as it should. Okay, what's our backspace look like? Oh, beautiful. Heaps of room. Outside's not too bad. It's certainly closer to the outside than the inside, but given the new ride height of the car, I don't see this being a problem at all. All right, I'm going to send Kean down to the tyre place, get him to get some drag rubber fitted. So we have our rims, we have our drag radials. Kean's been down the tyre shop, got them mated together. We put them on the car. They look pretty fat on the car, actually. The car looks very aggressive with the drag radials. They seem to clear everywhere except when you just get on it and the car torques up a bit, just the inside lip of the guard here just touches the tyre. You can see a little witness mark there on the tyre. It's not a big drama, it's not doing any real damage to the tyre, but it's not something that we want to see at the drag strip either. So we're going to just take the tyre off, give it a little bit of a touch up just to clear that lip. But other than that, everything seems to work really well. So, where are we up to? We've done our tail shaft loop, it's done. Drag radials and tyres, it's done. So we'll do this, and then we'll put a harness in this thing. And then we should be ready to race. So today we're at Portland for the South Coast 660, which is part of Andra's Summit Racing Equipment Sportsman Series. It is proper big dog racing, drag racing. This is 4 sheep stations basically. But right now we're going to kick things off with a Friday afternoon test and tune so we can see just how quick the Trolvo is before racing gets serious. And here we go. It's going to be our very first pass in the Trolvo. Be interested to see how this thing goes. Whew. Here we go. So, I definitely didn't build up the boost on the line enough. Definitely going to take that higher. So it was a bit of a slug off the line. But wow, as soon as you come on boost, 6, 96 miles an hour, which is the same, well, higher mile an hour than the car I was racing. It ran a 7.1. But it's a very slow 60 footer, 2.2 60 footer. You need to build that boost on the line a lot more. I reckon let's take it around for another pass. Second pass for the Volvo. We're going to give it some boost off the line this time. Wow. Well, I guess the dash mat is living in the boot for this meeting, but holy crap. That felt strong. That felt real strong. That felt turbo taxi strong. Yeah. Yep. Thanks for that. Okay, so we've made 4 passes with the Trolvo so far. First pass, very soft, you know, as you would expect. It's their first time down the track with the car. Ran at 8.0. It was all right, you know, no boost off the line, and it went hard. It went really well. Second pass, 7.35, which was amazing, considering we're only allowed to run 7.0. So, yeah, pretty happy with that. Now, things are starting to go awry. I don't know what's going on. We did a third pass. It ran a 750, but I was off the gas way early. So 750 with me off the gas very early is actually pretty impressive. But I felt it blip, and I went, you know what? I'm just going to get out of that, and we'll go see what's wrong with it. Couldn't find anything. Took it out for another run, and it's cut out twice. Something's not happy. It's not happy with something. I don't know if it's we're asking too much of the fuel system. We thought the fuel system was up to the task of running, you know, at the boost level we're at, and maybe it is on the dyno, but when you throw in G-forces and all that sort of stuff into the equation, and this thing is pulling some G-forces, I'll give you the tip, yeah, maybe that's now starting to find the limits of the fuel system. Okay, so we put it back together. The plugs look all right. They're a little bit white, not super happy, but they're not melted or anything like that. So I've put them back in there. What I'm going to do is take some boost out of it. So I'm going to go 6 clicks down on the boost. 1, 2. So we should be running lower boost pressure now. Should be a bit safer. So I suspect it's running out of fuel on the top end because of the G-forces involved and all that sort of thing. So if we lower the boost a bit, it should be, yes, it'll be a little bit slower, but it'll be much safer. So let's go see if we can get one last pass tonight. And then, yeah, see if it breaks down or see if it makes it all the way out the back door. Alright, we'll see if this works. Maybe our boost tee's backwards, because I'm pretty sure that went higher on boost and cut out earlier. So therefore I believe we're getting to a situation where the boost is too high, and therefore it's actually cutting the, like it's bleeding out, and therefore the ECU is going into protection mode and cutting out. Yeah, that launched, well, it wasn't the best 60 footer, like I didn't bring it right up on boost, but as soon as it got on boost, it was like, holy shit, hold on. Yeah, no, it had more boost. So yesterday we were having issues with the boost being a little bit too high. We don't have the fuel capacity to run the boost that we want. So what I'm going to do is bypass our boost T and go straight to the wastegate, and we're going to run lower boost. So we should have enough fuel supply for the boost that we have at this lower boost setting. But yeah, just got to try and get this done because we're not far away from our first run. So here we are, first qualifying run of the day, first qualifying run of the meeting, and the first time I'm going to use the trans brake in anger. This could go really bad or really good. Well, the diff survived. That's good to see. We weren't really packing a lot of boost off the line. It was still a bit slow off the line, but got down the track, and hopefully we can consistently do that. So just exporting the data log from our first run, and yeah, we'll see what is what. We've got the Volvo out here. We've just done our first pass using the trans brake, and it didn't go so well. You know, car's a bit slow. We've taken half the boost out of it. It only runs 11 pounds of boost now rather than 21. So yesterday we had it out here at the test and tune, running 21 pounds of boost, and it didn't really have enough fuel to get cleanly down the track. We did get a 735 out of it, 97 mile an hour, which is pretty impressive. That's like at 1140 down the quarter. That's pretty good. So the old Volvo, she goes all right, but yeah, we need to find some more boost again today. We took the boost T out of it before just to try and calm things down. We've calmed it down a little bit too much. Now it's on Prozac. We need to give it a bit of speed, make it faster. Our next run is about lunchtime, so we've got some time to make some adjustments. Oh man, it is warm in here, but I'm pretty confident that put us into where we needed to be. Man, she launched pretty hard off the trans brake. Gotta be happy with that. A little bit of air in the top. Woo! Not too bad. Alright. 773 at 89.43. So we're in. And the bonnet stayed down. Woohoo! Alright, I think that might be the start line procedure. Build boost in pre-stage, bump it into stage on the brake, then hit the trans brake, foot to the boards, last orange, boom. So we're just going to put it on the scales now, see what this weighs, because we're super curious as to what it weighs, and I'm sure you guys are too. Yeah, but that wasn't too bad, 780. It's semi-consistent. Hopefully we can match that tomorrow.
So what do we got? We go 5.3.
That's actually lighter than I thought.
Without you and
Yeah, obviously it's a fair bit heavier with me in it, but still just over 3,000 pounds, so 3,050 pounds basically, so that's actually reasonably light for a real steel car. Yeah. So here we are, guys. This is race day, Sunday at Portland Raceway for the South Coast 660. This is the big boy racing. This is the pointy end of the weekend, and we've got to work out what dial in we're going to give our old Volvo. No one wants to get beaten by the Volvo, I can assure you of that. So we're going to see if we can make it through the first round. It is eliminations, all right? So there are no second tries in this. It's like you win, you go through the next round. You lose, put it on the trailer. So we may only get one more pass, who knows? But the old Volvo, she's kind of delivered this weekend, I think. So we've got a seriously quick little car. Yes, we've turned it down a little bit to make it consistent, but I can't believe it's handling the trans brake as well as it is. You know, it's like, that is just the stock Volvo diff back there, and we're launching it well over 4,000 RPM. So yeah, she's going well. But anyway, let's get down the staging lanes, get a dialing on this thing, see what we're going to run. So we're in the staging lanes for round one of the South Coast 660. This is where it all comes to the wire. So I've got the black one tonner in the first round. Dutchie's one of the local boys. So we're going to see if we can keep him away at the finish line. He's faster than us, he'll be chasing. So this is all bracket racing. So delayed starts, we're dialed in at 780, he's dialed in at 7.1. So we've got 0.7 of a second head start on him. That's almost 2 lights on the tree. So hopefully we get a good reaction, get a good time down the track, and take the win. That's the plan. So we've only got 26 cars in the class now, and there's going to be 5 rounds of racing. So can we make it to the end of the day? Can we make it through for round one? Who knows? But it could all come crashing to an end right now. I honestly have no idea who won that. He probably hit the line a metre in front of me, but was it a double breakout? Was it he just caught me? I don't know. It was so close. I guess we'll find out down here. Dutchie got me. All right, so that is our weekend complete here at Portland Raceway. The South Coast 660 is over and done for us. We've gone out first round. Unfortunately, that is the way it is in big boy racing, and you can't get angry about it. I mean, I had a great run. The win margin was 0.045 of a second, so it was that tight at the finish line that neither of us knew who'd won. But Dutchie got me. He ran closer to his dial in. He was only, 5/100ths of his dial in. This was a little bit slower. I beat him off the tree. I should have had it, but the car didn't actually match its ET. And the reason for that is it is hotter today, and we cruised down the staging lanes quite a while. Inlet temp built up. It had 20 degrees more inlet temp today than it did yesterday, and that cost us the performance. So basically, yeah, that's pretty much what lost it for us. I did everything right. I can go away very happy from this meeting knowing that I gave it all. We launched at 4,800 RPM. That's why the wheel was in the air. So you've got to be happy with that. So when we go home, we're going to go put some extra fuel pumps in it. wind up the boost, probably send it with like 28 pounds because we know it handles 21 pretty fine. They reckon they'll go 30 pretty easily. Maybe we'll put some head studs in it or something like that to help it cope with that 30 PSI. But man, this thing is going 10s, and maybe it's going 10s before taxi. Who knows? But you're going to see all that on a future episode of Carnage.